Now, in Zimbabwe, the government has introduced new reforms in the interbank market, intending to try and control the buying and selling of foreign currency. To discuss the new measures that are applicable to importers on the phone and on Skype, I have Batanai Matsika, Head of Research at Morgan & Co. Morgan, sorry, I was calling you Morgan. Batanai, thank you. For joining us this afternoon. So now importers should declare where they get the foreign currency. But I suppose, you know, at an artificial level, it sounds like right, isn't it? You don't want your importers sourcing their foreign currency from thieves and undesirables.
Yes, it's a fact, and of course, it's completely justified given the need to sort of kill or destroy a parallel market in Zimbabwe. But however, from a practical perspective, you then look at what has happened on the social front in terms of the rate that buyers and sellers actually trade at. We're looking at a rate of 15 against the greenback, but also on the parallel market, we're looking at rates way above 20 above. So really, in terms of the supply or the source of forex, really for businesses, has pretty much been the parallel market. So really, these segments that have come through to say that importers have to declare their source of currency actually be bad news for some of the operators here in Zimbabwe. So really, it's about supply dynamics.
But part of the problem is that the parallel market itself is actually fueled by normal operators. In other words, the formal sector itself. The formal sector has gone to the parallel market because the formal market is not working.
Yes, the formal market is not working, which is what is a major cause of concern. To say that yes, the RBZ has come up with this interbank foreign exchange system that was introduced around February 2019. However, if you then look at the trades that happen there, they're a bit controlled in terms of the rate, and also you don't find money by the end of the day. So it's pretty much a market where exporters are sort of forced to sell their foreign currency at a rate of 15. But then, as an operator, you need to import raw materials. You need to import critical inputs. So the only source or the only feasible way to get around it, probably look at other markets, which is the grey or other market.
Yeah. In the past, there have been accusations that the Reserve Bank itself has been a participant in the parallel market, or let's call it what it is, the illegal or the black market. Is that an allegation that you still hear?
Yes, of course, there are always suspicions to say that whoever drives these rates actually has the RTGS balances, or the local currency balance. If you then look at in terms of just suspecting, it's pretty much your big corporates, and as a result, then suspect that the RBZ is participating. And if you also then look at the country in itself is highly import dependent. We know there's need for fuel and energy and the like. So as a result, there's a suspicion that given the lack of foreign currency, usually certain institutions will be involved.
Yeah. Is the bank itself providing more liquidity on the foreign exchange market? In other words, if it's dissuading people from going onto the black market, surely it must be supplying money on the official market itself. Are you seeing any increase in supplies?
On the official market, there isn't much of supply, but the concern for the RBZ was in terms of recommendations was that just freely float the Zim dollar, whatever exchange rate, and people come and buy and sell, and then they then moved from the informal market into the official market. Whatever the concern is around inflation. We're seeing that there's been a major concern to say that they have to at least have reasonable inflation targets because of the effects that it has, especially from the socio-economic perspective. So really, there's a need for them to have a grip on the exchange rate, and that is why they start the exchange rate around.
Yeah, but if they clamp down on the importers, what's likely to happen? We know what's going to happen, right? There will be shortages of everything from salt to whatever else you need to buy in the shops.
I think we've seen sort of a backtracking on that, remark to say that, yes, importers need to really bring products into the country. as a result, what they're saying now is that, if you have your own free funds, there will be no need really to declare this stuff. I think they are quite mindful of the impact it has, especially from the shortages.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, what do? You buy Old Mutual, you say. But explain to me why you should buy Old Mutual.
Okay, so given the risks around foreign exchange, I think it's for investors, it's worthwhile really to look at a stock that would hedge against these adverse movements in the exchange rate. And we think that the Old Mutual's share sort of attracts parallel marketplace, because there are a lot of dynamics around the share. Firstly, it's used as an exit avenue by foreign investors. You find that in terms of the pricing itself, you find that economic agents actually incorporate parallel market rates in terms of actually pricing the share. So really then provides that caution for you. But most importantly, it's a fungible stock. It's listed on the ZSC as well as on the JSE.
Yeah.
But over and above that, most of the operations are really outside Zimbabwe. So you're really buying into an asset that has limited risk.
Yeah. And is that, quickly, is that the real exchange rate?
So yeah, so that would be sort of a benchmark that economic agents use to say the Old Mutual implied rate around 26. Definitely be a measure of an exchange rate that is sort of sustainable.
Batanai, thank you. Let's leave it there. Batanai Matsika, Head of Research at Morgan & Co.